蠟燭同埋油煮飯嗰啲油漬。
Okay, so we'll begin with kitchen. Let's start with cooking fires.
我哋會開始講個煮飯同埋啲油漬。
Some of the information is a little straightforward, so we're going to start with basic tips. So, right, when you're cooking, it's important to use your oven mitts. Right? You want to use oven mitts you use and touch anything hot. Right? Very straightforward. When you are cooking, you want to try and make sure to keep the handle facing in. Right? If you're facing out, something happens, you hit it, everything's all over you. Right? So you want to point the handle in.
Yeah, just keep going.
Sure?
Yeah.
So in the event that there is a fire, right, you're cooking with oil and the pan goes on fire, right, you're cooking with oil, you don't want to put water on it. Right? Oil and water doesn't mix. I don't know how good everyone is at cooking, but if something burns, it's fire in the pan, you want to, there's two options. You can put the lid on, smother out the fire, right, with the oven mitt, of course. Smother out the fire. There's a fire, you can also put baking soda in your house. Smother it, put the fire out.
Okay, so 佢講咧係呢啲係佢啲手套，我哋全部知道煮飯會好熱㗎啦，嗰啲鑊啊嗰啲嘢，你需要有個毛巾啊或手套幫佢保護你啲手，萬一係太熱嘅咧，唔好辣親自己。第二，煮緊飯嗰陣時咧，我哋好慣同埋方便個手嗰度 hold 住嗰度係擺出嚟嘅，我哋消防員咧講係最好係擺喺中間，擺翻入去。萬一你係煮緊飯啊，或者啲孫啊、仔女啊、狗貓啊行過咧，唔會整跌個鑊。但係萬一係煮緊嘢有油漬啊，會着火。第二最緊要咧係，如果係有火燭煮緊飯嗰陣時咧，唔好用水，水咧唔會熄個火嘅，佢係會整個火大啲嘅。Okay? So 最緊要咧係唔好用水。如果你有個蓋咧冚住個火，佢會自動熄嘅。同埋第二，佢有一個嘢叫 baking soda， 係一種粉嚟嘅，係可以用嚟蒸嘢焗嘢咧，係你可以擺上去，佢應該會整個火細啲，或者熄咗佢嘅。
Use baking soda, you can still rinse off the chicken. It's still good. Especially with young kids at home, right? You want to make sure that you be careful when you're cooking around them. They run around, they can hit the pan. Important thing to talk about is using your stove and your oven as heating tools. I don't know if some people still do it. They turn on all the burners in their house to keep their house warm. Don't do that. That's very dangerous.
我哋全部都知道冬天嗰陣時，如果唔夠 heat 嘅，全部人都會想整熱啲㗎嘛，係咪？唔好開個爐頭同埋個 oven 嚟整個間房熱啲，好危險嘅，因為佢有好多地方係咁火燭嘅，佢唔記得開咗個爐頭啊，或者煲緊嘢啊，跟唔夠水㗎，有啲嘢着火啊，好危險嘅。
So those of you who do use an oven to cook, I don't know if you in the oven, just make sure you're watching it. Don't put it in the oven and then go to the grocery store. You want to make sure you're watching the oven in case something does happen. Fire breaks out in your oven.
如果你係煮緊嘢咧，你係要記得你係煮緊嘅，唔好話見到個孫走嚟走去啊，咁你唔記得你煮，因為你唔記得嗰陣時咧，就好多時都係火燭嘅。如果你係需要睇到咧，冇見到咧，咁你就熄個火，跟住你先去做啲嘢，整完啦先翻嚟再煮過。
So we're going to move. That covers most of the kitchen. Kitchen's straightforward. We're going to talk a little bit about electrical fires. Causes electrical fires. So, as we know, the fire in Mulberry Street was caused by an overloaded outlet.
So Mulberry 街咧個火燭個理由咧係因為個人有呢啲長嘅插掣。你用呢啲部器咧，整 heat 咧，佢會扯好多電咧，佢唔合格咧係好危險嘅。
So for everyone who lives in New York City, right, we always have a shortage of outlets. So everyone uses power strips and extension cords. It's very important you know you should put a power cords or extension cord, no piggybacking. That's what we call piggybacking, where extension cord, the power.
呢個長閘掣咧係就喺長嘅插咗去一個嘢，唔好黐埋佢一齊。如果你有兩個咧，你唔好加埋一齊，好危險嘅。如果你係要咧，要買一個長啲嘅，係咁簡單。你插埋一齊咧係唔啱規矩同埋好危險對你同你家庭。
So you also want to make sure when you go home, any appliance that heats up or cools down needs to be plugged right into the wall. Don't plug into this. So like microwave, refrigerator, AC, space heater, anything heats up, cools down, needs to go directly in the wall.
所以如果你有呢部機咧係會用好多電嘅，好似吹乾頭嗰啲hair dryer 啊，整 heat 個heat 爐因為太凍啊，或冷氣啊嗰啲咧，需要插去長嗰啲插掣，唔好買呢啲長嘅插掣嚟插去，因為唔夠長。呢啲長嘅咧好多時唔會保護你同你家庭個咁多用電個方法。長嗰係最安全嘅。
We all use extension cords, the orange ones. Extension cords are not rated for long-term use. So for those of you who run it through your house to power things across the room, you want to make sure you inspect it, you're not using it for long periods of time. Make sure there's no frays or rips in the wires, in the rubber casing. You got to also make sure you're not leaving it plugged in for long periods of time.
呢啲長閘掣唔係應該用得好長嘅時間。如果你係見到佢有啲好似界開啊，或者見到啲線喺入面咧，你唔好話可以包住佢就唔再用過，掉咗佢買個新嘅。
So we also all use these power strips, right? You want to make sure that when you buy power strips, there's surge protector, so that means that if it overloads, it has its own shutoff, right? So I don't know. If you buy a power strip from the 99-cent store, you want to make sure it has the surge protector that also has a UL on it. So on page 6 of the book, you can see the little sticker with a circle with a U, capital U and capital L in it, which stands for Underwriters Laboratory, which means it's federally tested. Right? So any electrical appliances all have that UL sticker. So you just want to make sure you look out for that. Everything has a UL sticker.
所以如果你係買啲插掣啊、或電器啊嗰啲咁個嘢咧，喺美國咧，我哋有個公司係兩個字 UL， 係呢個公司呢、個政府公司係話代替佢試過呢個部機，係知道佢係會保護你嘅，佢有合格嗰啲規矩啊，可以用啲咩？如果係你去嗰啲999紙嗰啲地方，唔好隨便買普通嘅，你需要買嗰個有兩個字 UL。政府合格嘅。
So for those of you who, right, you also want to make sure you turn it off. Right? So that's good to think about having surge protectors if not in use. For those of you who use space heaters and heating blankets to stay warm, make sure you maintain a 3-foot radius around. It's still a little chilly, so maybe some people still use their space heaters. But you want to make sure you maintain a 3-foot radius around the space heater. So I've been in fires where they're sleeping and they got hot. Someone got hot. They kicked the blanket and landed on the fires, the space heater, and that caused a fire.
所以如果你係用緊呢啲咁個嘢咧，呢個係個風扇係整暖氣熱氣出嚟嘅。如果你係凍嘅，你呢啲如果你係用緊呢啲咁個部機咧，你需要出邊3尺唔係出邊。你3尺呢部機咧，唔好擺啲衫啊、褲啊、毛巾啊嗰啲嘢，可以容易着火咧。你應該擺開啲，擺遠啲，同埋嗰啲瞓覺嗰啲床單啊。如果你係用嘅咧，你用完啦，你身體係覺得暖啦，你就熄咗佢，因為呢啲嘢唔係應該開得咁耐嘅，好危險。
So similarly, you want to make sure you turn off both space heaters and electrical blankets when you're sleeping or not in the room. Okay. So we're going. These space heaters are also the newer ones. They have the automatic shut-off, so when it falls over, it turns off. You have the older ones. You gotta make sure you are maintaining, watching it, right? With the exposed coils, if it falls over, you start a fire.
所以你呢啲風扇咧新嗰啲咧，如果你係萬一整親俾啲孫仔女踢到跌咗咧，佢呢個部機應該自動閂嘅。呢啲係新嗰啲，但如果係有舊嗰啲咧，你就需要睇一睇 ，make sure 佢唔好跌親，因為佢係好熱嘅。呢啲咁嘅風扇整到儀器出嚟咧，係會如果跌咗你唔睇咧，佢會自動火燭。就你係如果係有舊嗰啲咧，驚你需要望住佢，唔好唔記得佢。如果你有舊新嗰啲咧，跌親咧佢會自動熄。但係點都係啦，你有呢啲咧，你就要小心啲。
So now we'll move on to smoking tips, right? I don't know who smokes, but if you smoke, you want to make sure you're using a good ashtray, right? If you smoke, don't take medication or use oxygen when you're smoking. It's really important.
如果係邊個喺度食煙嘅，佢就話：如果你係食煙嘅，如果你有嗰啲 oxygen 嗰啲空氣咧，部機咧，你唔好喺佢隔離食煙，因為空氣同煙火好大問題。蠟燭都係一樣。
Okay, so if you do use candles, same thing, candles similar to smoking. Right, you want to make sure you're watching it, you're in the room. Right, I've been to a fire where the lady had a candle in her room and she closed the door and didn't know. The whole room was on fire, so you want to make sure you're in the vicinity of a flame candle.
呢啲蠟燭咧，我哋好多時想慳電咁用佢光一光睇到。夜晚黑咧，如果你係唔用嘅咧，你要睇住同埋閂咗佢啦，唔好由得佢繼續着住。因為好多時你瞓覺你唔知發生咩事咧，你睇唔到佢呢個係有火燭嘅，有火，有可能會整到火燭，冇人會知。
So for those of you who don't need flame candles, they do sell the flameless candle, battery powered. It smells nice. I would suggest using this, safer.
如果你係需要你中意嗰啲蠟燭個感覺見到啲就少少燈咧，佢哋有賣電器嗰啲嘅電嘅，咁你可以唔好買普通蠟燭，買電嘅係會安全啲同埋整你中意蠟燭個感覺。
And just as a general rule of thumb, if you have young children at home, make sure you teach them not to play with matches and lighters. That's important.
打火機同埋全部咩整到火咧？如果你係喺屋企有嘅咧，最好收埋佢。小朋友、孫仔女佢哋唔知係咩嘅，玩火呢樣嗰樣好危險。
So it's important. So now we're going to go into some general fire safety tips. I'm assuming most people here live in